This is going to be the reading for Pluto moving into Aquarius for good now for 20 years from 19th of November. We have the Lord of Transformation moving in the sign of the Reformer. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Neptune also are going to change sign next year in 2025. So a lot of support for us to change, because this is going to be happening for all of us. We are going to be triggered, we are going to transform, and I see this period as for us becoming the dragonfly. We emerge from the water, we are getting our wings, and we never go back to the water now, to our safe or comfort zone. We just need to accept and trust that the change is for good, and we become the dragon and we can fly, just an uncharted territory, and it will take some time for us to adjust. So how I'm going to conduct this reading is by offering you 3 cards with the dragonfly to choose from. One is this card of liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they are you. So we are going to release our doubts and our fears and not identify ourselves with them. We change our story because now we are a dragonfly. In the other oracle, I also have a beautiful card of dragonfly, the mirror. So we are going to use the water now just to mirror ourselves into others as well, and in this way to learn more about who we are, and we are going to become more transparent in this respect. And then from the animal kin oracle, the dragonfly, it's the card of imagination. Seeking within unlocks our infinite potential. Wow, like a dragonfly, so we will still be very connected with the water. From now on, we create with our imagination, and we are aware of that. You can choose one of these 3 words: liberation, mirroring, or imagination, or you choose the card that you love and you feel attracted to, and then I will come back with the reading for each and one of them. If you choose for the keyword, let's say liberation, the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they are yours. You can now choose from one of these 3 cards in order to get a more accurate reading for you. And these 3 cards are from the oracle of Pluto. Let's say we choose the first card for Aquarius, now we choose a card for Pluto, and the first card is the card of the whitetail, with the meaning this is the process of rebirth. Often fears come hand in hand with change, and when we can sense it on the horizon, we instinctively double down on which is familiar. Think of the stag and how he lets go of the thing that protects him without question, knowing that it will be replaced with something even more immaculate. How can this trust in the unfolding of your path serve you now, even if you don't know exactly what that means yet? Wow, this is so much of the Pluto in Aquarius for me. So you can go for this combination of liberation and the process of rebirth, or you can go for the card of the goat. Actually, there are shadows, because this is what it's going to happen. We face our shadows. So with the card of the goat, the meaning is the potential. Think about your relationship to power. To whom and what do you give your power away and why? What would it look like for you to be embodied in your power? What could you accomplish? So liberation of shadows, I will say, and getting your power. And then another combination will be between liberation and this shadow of a friend. This is a kind of truth, of mirrors, of advice. One way to think about the card is also contained in the age-old saying, the antidote is in the poison. Ask yourself who in your life is your greatest mirror and what lessons you can learn from them. Think of who you hold most dear and who you absolutely can't stand. Which one is a stronger teacher? You might be surprised by the answer. So where are your triggers actually? So this liberation and mirroring or triggers. Take your time and choose from one of these two. Liberation with rebirth, liberation and power, and liberation and mirrors. If your choice was the card of liberation with the shadow of whitetail, just the meaning of the rebirth, your reading already started, because I'm going to pick up 3 cards. A card for the shadow, which you already have, a card for the current state of your life, and a card for vision. So for the shadow part, what unconscious fear or walls are coming up to you to heal and overcome, you have, as I said, this beautiful shadow. You are in a process of rebirth. This majestic whitetail has to lose his antlers. In every subsequent year, they get stronger and bigger than they were before, and it's quite a painful process to grow these antlers. He used it to defend himself, to defend his family. It's a sign of increasing maturity, experience, and skills. So this is what doesn't kill you, make you stronger, but this is a very good way of looking at the shadows that you have to release are actually for your growth. This will be for you the part of the shadow. Then we have a card for the current state of your life, where you are being called to transform or let go of old structures and patterns. You have this card of future. We look into the future now, we discuss, and this is also what you are thinking of or trying to plan in a way. Your future, you are trying to transform and let go of your shadow so you can embrace your future. And for the vision, or what future possibilities are you exciting to embrace? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? You got the card of open intuition from the Sacred Spirit reading cards. Seek clarification. And I also see that you have here a 39 card, but after that you get a 29 cards, which is actually also an 11. So this is the card of your vision, and if you are open to the intuition, this is the inner voice of the soul. Believe you are real, an intuitive person, and go from the mind to the heart. A good affirmation for you will be, I am an open channel for my soul to seek its guidance. It will be a process to learn how to receive these messages and how to decode them. you just need to clear your mind. It's like opening a antenna and receive the sign and messages. And then day by day, you're just building your skills. The more you open your chakras, the more you recognize the vibration, the more you see the signs, and just observe the moments when you are channeling without any judgment. And then you see how it goes, and you start trusting, you start understanding, you make a kind of own map of symbols, signs, mystical knowledge that it's coming on your way. You will discover in this way your unique gifts, and you will be capable to protect yourself, like here with the new atlas that you are building, with your new confidence and intuition. You are protecting yourself, you are protecting those around you. And with all these words that we have here for you, I ask the ChatGPT to make a story, because I truly believe that we are storytellers. And what I do with these readings, I'm also trying to tell a story. And my desire was to look at all the cards and create a new story for you, to embrace it, because it's important to look at the stories we are telling ourselves to see which one are truth and which are resonating with us. You know, even I'm reading sometimes news on a spiritual channel, and most of them keep on saying, stay safe in this crazy world, find peace in this madness. Just by saying that, you know, that is a crazy world, that is madness, there is already a story that we are telling ourselves, and then we are the one who have to bring the light. And I'm also telling stories to myself. I imagine that once I'm light and a high frequency, I'm going to inspire people around me, which is most of the time not true, because I'm just trigger people around me. So, and even that maybe is a story. So just look at the stories that are coming on your path, and maybe just change them into a sacred story, something that is building you up, something that is reflecting your unique gifts, something that is transforming you into the new you. Let's see what ChatGPT has for you. I'm going to enjoy it because it's new for me as well. Once upon a time, in a serene forest, there lived a graceful white-tailed deer named Luna. Why they pick up the name Luna, I don't know, but I love it because it's the name of my cat. Luna had always felt a deep connection to the forest, but as the season changed, she began to sense a shift within herself. The whispers of the wind carried doubts and fear that often came hand in hand with change. Luna found herself questioning her place in the world, feeling the weight of uncertainty. One crisp autumn morning, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew cooler, Luna decided to seek liberation from her doubts. She ventured to the heart of the forest, where an ancient oak tree stood tall and wise. The tree, new as the guardian of the forest, had witnessed countless transformations and held the vision of ages. Luna approached the guardian and shared her fears. Often fear comes hand in hand with change, the guardian said gently. But remember, Luna, you are not your doubts and fears. They are but shadows that pass through you. Embrace your intuition and seek clarification within yourself. With the guardian's words echoing in her heart, Luna closed her eyes and opened her intuition. She felt a warm, comforting light envelop her, guiding her towards a rebirth. She realized that her current state was not a reflection of her true self, but a stepping stone towards her future. As Luna embraced this newfound clarity, she felt a sense of liberation. She no longer believed that her doubts and fears defined her. Instead, she saw them as opportunities for growth and transformation. With each step she took, Luna felt lighter, more connected to the forest and her true essence. In time, Luna became a beacon of hope for other creatures in the forest. She shared her journey of rebirth and encouraged them to seek their own path of liberation. The forest thrived with a renewed sense of unity and purpose as each creature embraced their unique journey towards the future. And so, Luna's story became a testament to the power of open intuition and the courage to seek clarification. It reminded all who heard it that liberation comes from within, and then the future is shaped by our willingness to embrace change and let go of our fears. So this is artificial intelligence gift for you, because this period of Pluto in Aquarius, it's going to be maybe a revolution of the artificial intelligence. Every time Pluto was in Aquarius, there was a revolution of some kind. But we don't have to fear it. I think we have to embrace it and see the good part of it. And I believe that this was a beautiful story that I hope you are going to take in your heart and listen to it from time to time, maybe when the times are hard, when the transformation is challenging. I hope this reading is useful for you, and thank you for watching. If your choice was the card of liberation with the shadow of power, you already have the first card from your reading, the card of shadow. What unconscious fears or walls are coming up for you to heal and overcome? Maybe the fear to be too powerful, the fear to embrace your power, because that's something that people realize now, how powerful we really are, our thoughts, our words. And then how do we deal with this? How do we use it properly? It's a question of personal leadership, I will say. And then we have a card for the current state of your life. Where are you being called to transform or let go of all structures and patterns? And you get a card of work. Maybe you work too hard. You work alone. That could also be. You have a card of 963, which is a kind of ending of a cycle. But your work brought amazing results, and you have to be proud of yourself. And in this way, letting go of too much work, like it was here, too much power, or maybe the power that you get by doing your work. So this is the current state. And then I will have a card for the vision. What innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? Because this is what Aquarius is about. And I will pick up a card from the Secret of the Mystic Grove for you. And you end up with 2 cards. First, the card of pause, time out, I think, after too much work. I can understand why. It is time for you to create space for yourself so that you can find for a restorative rest. Give yourself minutes of quiet time, even if they are 5 minutes. Talk with yourself in a nice way. Spend time with your family, with the dear ones, or time to meditate, time to relax. And then you have the card of release, letting go, freedom, healing. You've been working on healing yourself from some pain or injury. In this way, you nurture yourself. And I like this card. It makes me think of the story of the girl who had 7 brothers and they were transformed in swans, and then she had to work hard to make some special dresses for them so she can release them from the curse, but she was not allowed to talk about it, and she worked very hard, and she was almost killed because everybody thought she's a witch. And then in the end she managed, just before her execution, to give the dresses to her brothers. Just for the last one she didn't manage to finish, and in this way he still has a wing. But now, maybe after all this healing, in the future I hope you will find your freedom, and that's very nicely connected with the card of repose. So you have a 7, you have an 8, and you have a 9. These maybe are cycles. Maybe the years are always in a cycle, and the years 7, 8, and 9 from the cycles to come are important in your future. And I also ask AI to create a story for you with all these words, because I do believe that this is the revolution that the new period is bringing. Pluto in Aquarius always brought revolutions in our history, so maybe this is going to be the AI revolution. We need to be open to the change, we need to embrace it. And so let's see what AI has to share with you. So the story for you will be: in a bustling city there lived a young artist named Mira. Mira was known for her vibrant paintings that captured the essence of freedom and healing. Despite her success, Mira often found herself grappling with doubts and fear, especially when it came to her relation to power and her untapped potential. One day, Mira decided to take a time out from her hectic life. She retreated to a quiet cabin in the mountains, seeking response and a chance to reconnect with herself. As she settled into the serene surroundings, Mira began to reflect on her journey. She realized that often fear came hand in hand with change, and that her doubts were merely shadows that passed through her. Determined to find liberation from her fears, Mira embraced the process of letting go. She spent her days working hard, not just on her art, but on herself. She meditated by the tranquil lake, allowing her intuition to guide her. She painted her emotion, transforming her doubts into vibrant colors on the canvas. As the day passed, Mira felt a profound sense of healing. She no longer believed that her doubts and fears defined her. Instead, she saw them as an opportunity for growth and transformation. She discovered her untapped potential, realizing that her true power lay in her ability to let go and embrace change. With a renewed sense of freedom, Mira returned to the city. She shared her journey with others, encouraging them to seek their own path of liberation and healing. Her art became a beacon of hope, inspiring many to take a time out and reconnect with their true selves. And so Mira's story became a testament to the power of letting go and embracing one's untapped potential. It reminded all who heard it that true liberation comes from within, and that the future is shaped by our willingness to face our fears and embrace change. That would be my intention, to create sacred stories with the help of the cards, who are my way of channeling, and to empower each and one of you with the stories. And I don't see anything wrong in embracing even the change that AI is offering us. Of course, you can make your own story from all these cards, and all I hope is that they are useful for you. Thank you for watching. if your choice was together with a card of liberation, the shadow of mirroring with this friend, you already have the first card of your reading, because the reading is going to have 3 cards. One is the card of the shadow, we have a card of the current state, and a card of the vision. So you have this friend connected with truth and mirrors. The antidote is in the poison. We said, ask yourself, what is your greatest mirrors, your friend of your enemies? What is your greatest teacher? I always ask that the experience in my life are actually teaching me, and wherever happens, not always, I try my best to look into my shadow, and if something triggers me, to ask myself, why is this happening? These are the unconscious fears or walls that are coming up for you to heal and overcome. And then for the present, you got the card of reflection. The current state where you are being called to transform, and how can you let go of all structure and patterns. So I suppose that by using this mirroring, you are already doing a lot of self-reflection, and that is beautiful. For the vision of the future, what innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? From the beautiful vintage wisdom oracle, you got the card of innocence. Such a beautiful card, actually. All these cards are so beautiful, you know. You have a friend, but then look, these flowers, finding your innocence, the pure innocence of children, and maybe finding pure love in your heart. Retrieving and preserving the spirit of innocence has become a conscious necessity for many. This is why you maybe got this card. You are looking through the lens of innocence, either to see yourself or a situation where judgment, guilt, or blame may be present. The long shadow of these feelings, either to self or another, serve no useful purpose. By remembering to look for the innocence if you are hard, you can find renewed inspiration and clarity in relation to whatever situation you are in. Through the eyes of innocence, the world is bathed in a light that casts no shadows. It's a place where mortality meets with divinity and describes an aspect of our divine nature as God's children. If we look for the best in ourselves and in others, with this mirroring, this is the perfect card, because maybe we can find an inner child in us, we can play with a child in others, and they are humble qualities in the end that we will discover. That people are basically good. I really believe that. With these birds here, they fly every autumn and then they come back, and that's our future. And for me, it's still a symbol of a beautiful future. And the idea that they were coming back and they're making their nest, and the way they talk with each other, it's such a lovely chat, pure joy, you know, and beautiful nature around you, and the beauty in other people, because the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No? We see the way we look at the world around us. Everything is a mirror of our internal state of heart, because this Pluto in Aquarius, it's also associated with the revolution of the AI. Every time Pluto was in Aquarius in the history of the world, it brought revolutions. I asked ChatGPT to make a story for you with all the words from these beautiful cards that you have here. And then I'm curious what it came up with. In a tranquil village surrounded by lush meadows, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her innocence and her ability to see the world with a unique vision. Despite her pure heart, she often found herself grappling with doubts and fears, especially when faced with the shadow of the unknown. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadow across the village, Elara decided to seek liberation from her fears. She ventured to the edge of the forest where an ancient mirror was said to hold the power of vision reflection. The mirror, hidden deep within the woods, was known to reveal one's true self and provide clarity. Mirror, mirror. As Elara approached the mirror, the doubts and fears still came up, whispering in her ear. She took a deep breath and gazed into the reflective surface. To her surprise, she saw not just her own reflection, but the shadow of her past and the potential of her future. The mirror showed her the innocence of her heart and the strength she possessed. With each passing moment, Elara felt a sense of liberation. She realized that her doubts and fears were merely shadows that passed through her, not defining her true self. She embraced the vision reflection, understanding that her current state was a stepping stone towards her future. Empowering by this newfound clarity, Elara returned to the village. She shared her experience with the villagers, encouraging them to seek their own path of liberation and self-discovery. Her story became a beacon of hope, reminding everybody that true freedom comes from within and that the future is steady and shaped by our willingness to face our fears and embrace change. And so, Elara's story became a testament to the power of vision, reflection, and the courage to seek liberation. It reminded all who heard it that innocence and strength can coexist, and that the shadows of doubt and fear are but fleeting moments on the path to self-discovery. So, this was your story. Of course, you can create your own story. That's our right as storytellers. Create your own sacred story. That would be important, with powerful things, powerful words, and just reflect, because you have here reflection on the stories you are telling yourselves, if they are empowering you, if they are really liberating you, or they are still shadows or patterns, maybe even before you, from your ancestors. It's not easy to recognize the stories we are telling ourselves, but I'm sure with this reflection time you are in, and with the beauty of the innocence that it's coming of your path, that you are on the journey of discovering if you are your friend and who is your true friend. I hope these cards and the story was useful for you, and thank you for watching. If your choice was the card of a mirror with this beautiful dragonfly who is trying to see herself in the mirror, get clarity. In order to make the reading even more accurate, I decided to pick up 3 cards from the Oracle of Pluto. It's like the first cards with the dragonfly were connected to Aquarius, and now we go for the Pluto cards. And then I have again 3 cards you can choose from, and then I will do a reading for each and one of them. So you can go for the turkey. This is associated with being wild and free. So mirror with wild and free. Or you can go for the turtle, which is about divine timing. You know that she's very patient, so mirroring and divine timing. Or the lizard, which is about the cycles of life. So it would be the combination mirror and lizard, or cycles of life. So just take your time, make a choice between wild and free, divine timing, or cycles of life. If your choice was beside the card of the mirror, the shadow of Turkey here, which we associated with wild and free, your reading already started, because how I'm going to do the reading is by having 3 cards, one for the past, which is actually the shadow, what unconscious fears or walls are coming up to you to heal and overcome. A card of the current state of where are you in this life, what are you being called to transform or let go, which old structures and pattern. And for that you get the card of pleasure. It's a temporary physiological state that passes through the body and the mind, not to be thought as joy, because it depends on certain set of condition and circumstances. So wherever you feel pleasure, it's also important to bring the state of joy. And maybe that's what you are called to transform, pleasurable things in joyful things. And then I will also have a card for the vision. What innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace, and in which way this can contribute to the collective, so that they reflect your unique gifts and vision. And for that I'm going to use a card from the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle deck, and the card that came for you is this beautiful card of gratitude, the life force of peace. Yes, what are you thinking of? Wild and free, the primal instincts, or maybe a lot of pleasure based on the body and mind, that now you are transforming in joy, and then just feel the gratitude, the feeling that everything that you have, you are grateful for. And this is the fastest way to happiness and peace. It's actually the life force of everything. When things don't go well, of course, you start feeling doubt and blame, and you feel separated from the rest of the world. But then if you just think, but I'm grateful, even the triggers, even the people that we cannot stand, they are coming in our life to teach us something. So the question maybe for you to keep on repeating is, what are you thankful for? And then the assignment for you with this vision will be, have you been focused your attention on lack? You may feel pressure from the world to be more, have more, and do more, but your true self already knows that you are enough. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, take a moment to identify all the things you are grateful for. What is going well in your life? I think sometimes we take the things that are going well for granted, and then we are thinking, oh, but I wish to have this and this and this, and then we forget to be thankful for what we already have. You can transform your suffering into freedom, if there is any suffering, because maybe you are just wild and free and you enjoy life, you have pleasure, so it's not necessarily that you feel suffering. Maybe this mirror helps you to look at the future you, to see deeper in your soul, and maybe the image is a little blurred, it's not really clear, you are not sure about the future as well, or what your vision is, what your purpose is. Just realize that everything is well the way it is, and what you have, it's what you need. And you will create with this attitude everything that you need also in the future, for you and for others. And as I said in the beginning, we are in the time of Pluto in Aquarius. We are in this revolution of artificial intelligence, because Pluto in Aquarius always brings a kind of revolution, and we are scary. Some people want to go back to the old times, but yeah, the genie is out of the bottle, so we will have to deal with it. And what I did for this reading, I asked ChatGPT to create a story for you, and I'm just going to read it. In a mystical land where the boundaries between reality and magic blurred, there was a village known for its ancient tradition and deep connection to the natural world. Among the villagers, there was a young woman named Serafina, who was known for her wild and free spirit. She lived by her primal instincts, always seeking joy and delight in the great and unfathomable mystery of creation. One day, while exploring the dense forest that surrounded the village, Serafina stumbled upon an old, ornate mirror hidden among the trees. The mirror's frame was intricately carved with symbols linked to witchcraft, and its surface shimmered with an underworldly glow. Serafina felt an irresistible pull towards the mirror, sensing that its symbolism was rich and complex. There are traditions in which you can see your future at a certain period of time if you look in the mirror. As she gazed into the mirror, Serafina saw not just her reflection, but a vision of her deepest desires and fears. The mirror revealed the temporary nature of pleasure, showing her that it was a psychological state that passed through the body and mind. Yet, it also reminded her to bring the quality of joy to every passing pleasure, to laugh, dance, play, and delight in the moments of life. The mirror's vision also showed Serafina the importance of gratitude. It was the light force of peace, a powerful energy that could transform her perspective and bring harmony to her soul. She realized that by staying wild and free and embracing her primal instincts, she could find true liberation and healing. With this newfound understanding, Serafina returned to her village, carrying the mirror with her. She shared her experience with the villagers, encouraging them to embrace the joy in every moment and to cultivate gratitude in their hearts. The village thrived with a renewed sense of purpose and connection to the natural world. And so, Serafina's story became a testament to the power of the mirror symbolism and the wisdom it revealed. It reminded all who heard it that true liberation comes from within, and that by staying wild and free, we can find peace and joy in this divine creation. Wow, it's a beautiful story. And because I did already some readings, and I always ask ChatGPT to create a story, or the copilot, how it's called here, it always ends up by bringing the realization to the community you are in. And that's a powerful tool that we have. So then sharing our sacred stories, sharing our knowledge, and then together we can create. That's the power of oneness, because we are all one. We are mirroring each other, and we just see ourselves in others. I hope this story resonates with you, and you can also create your own story. Of course, I made it based on these cards, which I truly hope they resonate with you and they give you a vision of you in the future. And that's what we, or at least I try to do here with the help of these cards. Thank you for watching. If your choice was the card of the turtle, the shadow of the turtle here, which was associated with a divine timing, patience, and of course you already had the mirror, your reading already started, because the way I'm going to conduct this reading is by having three cards. The first one, the card of the shadow, is about what inconscious fears or walls can come up for you to heal and overcome. So that you have this card of the shadow of patient, having to wait too long. I think this is the idea of just forget about racing at all and just have the trust in the divine timing going forward. And I mean, that's one of the shadows that can be difficult, because the society is pushing us to be better, to be good, to be the best in any way possible. The concept of time is something that has fascinated humanity across the ages. Think of all the quotes you heard or read surrounding time. Scientists study it closely. Dali is famous for his melting clocks. Our entire lives are dictated by time. Now contemplate all the animals as such. They have no clocks, no schedule, no meetings, and yet everything unfolds in nature exactly as it should. Imagine if you too could pass your day without the burden of time. What would you spend the energy on instead? Because we have the chronos time, but we also have the time that we experience emotional. Sometimes moments are just flying, and before we know, the day is gone and we feel every second of it. And other times it feel like it's never passing. Actually, this is the difference between chronos and kairos time. I would say the turtle lives in the kairos time. She's just doing her thing patiently. So this was the card of the shadow. Then we have a card of the current state. Where are you now? Where you feel called to transform and let go of the structures and patterns. And for you, from this Little Wings book of guidance, I got the card of honesty. Look at that. And I think this is about honesty to yourself. This is maybe the greatest act of self-love, because you don't have to hide from your own darkness. Maybe you are honest with yourself. I accept, I love myself. This is also what I'm trying to do with my KALY profiles, call knowing, accepting, and loving yourself. Just be honest. This is me. I love myself the way I am, including the less light parts. Of course, the mind wants us to be special. Even some days ago, somebody read and then a KALY profile that I made, and then asked, oh, but this is just me, am I unique? And I said, we are all unique, of course, we are all special. That's what you discover when you love yourself. In this way, with this honesty, your mind gets free, because she's not conflicted within itself. You are transparent. You just know about how perfect and innocent yourself is. You don't need to put any more mask. You don't need to show anything else to the world. And you are getting even more aware of your own powers. It doesn't mean that when you are so honest with yourself, the thoughts will go away, but the thoughts that we don't really like, we don't have to bury them. We don't have to give them power because they are hidden. We uncover them, and then we face them without judgment, without fear, without identification. We don't identify ourselves with the story that those thoughts are telling us. And you learn that nothing which arises in the conscious mind can have any effect at all on your true being. So this is a very, very beautiful card for you. And I think, yes, by mirroring even the light and the dark, but and being patient and knowing who you are, like the turtle dares to go in a competition with a hare, even if she knows that everybody sees her as slow. Just an honesty about, yes, this is me and I know my power. I know who I truly am. And then I have card for the vision. What innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace, and how can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? And from the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle, I had for you the card of Express Yourself Creatively. Start something new. See, there is a kind of pink color set of hope coming for you, and a card of 9. Like you are now in a kind of end of a cycle. You know who you are. You have this self-love. You understand, you accept the divine timing, and now you can just enjoy being creative, because we hear people saying that this is why even the angels are envious with us for our creativity. You need to leave behind everything that doesn't support your growth, and now you can focus your attention on the new things that are trying to emerge. Knowing who you are, accepting and loving, having this self-love now, then you can embrace the new, the future new. And you can think, what do you want to explore? What do you want to experience? What kind of adventures? There are all kinds of new beginnings. This is the end of the cycle, and of course after that the new beginnings are started. And the assignment for you will be to be human is to be a creator. Human beings are always creating, whether it's new ideas, new relationship, new approaches to things, or tangible projects and products. To be alive is to be a creator. It's possible that part of your anxiety is because you have stopped creating. Dive back into the creative process. We need to explore, experiment, and expand our conscience with activity, projects, and ideas. Life is a circular evolution where everything is connecting. When sometimes ends, you have the 9, there is a birth of a beautiful new awareness and possibility. And then create this new cycle for you, and in this new cycle, your gifts and your vision can emerge. I love it, really love it. And I try to make a nice story with these cards, but I also ask AI to make one for you, because we are now in the new time of Pluto in Aquarius, which always brings a revolution. This is going to be the AI revolution, at least it's not me saying, this is what we expect, and it's happening. So we just have to learn to live with it and stay rooted and grounded and with honesty. So let's see what the story I have here for you, or the copilot has for you. In a land where magic and reality intertwined, there was a village known for its ancient tradition and deep connection to the mystical arts. Among the villagers, there was a wise old woman named Isolde, who was known for her patience and her ability to understand the rich and complex symbolism of the mirror, often linked to witchcraft. One day, a young girl named Arya came to Isolde seeking guidance. Arya was struggling with her creative expression, feeling conflicted and unsure of her path. Isolde listened patiently and then handed Arya a small, ornate mirror. "This mirror holds great power," Isolde said. "Its symbolism and rich and complex, linked to witchcraft. It can reveal truth and guide you on your journey." Arya gazed into the mirror, and as she did, she saw a vision of the turtle slowly making its way across a vast landscape. The turtle moved with patience and grace, embodying the essence of divine timing. Arya realized that, like the turtle, she needed to trust in the natural flow of life and allow her creativity to unfold on its own time. As she continued to look into the mirror, Arya saw her own reflection, but it was different. She saw herself free from the doubts and fears that had been holding her back. She understood that honesty sets you free because the mind is no longer conflicted with itself. By being true to herself and expressing her creativity honestly, she could find liberation and peace. With this newfound clarity, Arya returned to her village and began to express herself creatively without fear or hesitation. She painted, wrote, and danced, allowing her true self to shine through. Her art became a source of inspiration for others, encouraging them to embrace their own creative journey. And so, Arya's story became a testament to the power of patience, divine timing, and the rich symbolism of the mirror. It reminded all who heard it that honesty sets you free and that true liberation comes from expressing yourself creatively and trusting in the natural flow of life. This is a beautiful story. I hope it resonates with you and you can always come back and listening to it if there are moments when you doubt how beautiful you are and how creative you are. If not, just take whatever resonates with you from this reading. And while I was reading the story, I just had the image of a beach where I was like a month ago, and there were these signs where the eggs of the turtles were, and I could just imagine the moment, the magical moment when all those little turtles will come out from the eggs and go quickly to the sea in the water. You know, it's like the other way around, like this dragonfly here. So they were born under the sand and they were looking forward to reach the water and there to start their life. Love this image, the creativity of nature. It's amazing. Maybe out of your story, but it just came to me and it brought me joy. So I had to share. Thank you for watching. If your choice was the lizard, this shadow of the lizard in the desert with the keyword cycle of life, so you have the mirror and the cycle of life, your reading already started, because I will have 3 cards, one for the shadow, one for the current state, one for the vision, and the card of the shadow is for you, the card of this lizard. What unconscious fears or walls can come up for you to heal and overcome? And maybe this idea of the pattern, the cycles of life that are somehow repeating, and you have the feeling that maybe something is wrong with you because you don't learn or you didn't learn the lessons. But actually, we don't evolve in a linear fashion. We go back to themes and lesson or situation again and again, but each time with fresh eyes, and each time we go a level deeper. So actually we evolve, even if we have the feeling we just go back in the same circle. It's important for you to realize that this is what Pluto really does, and you have to understand, am I really repeating a cycle because I didn't do the work, or because this new situation offers me an opportunity to evolve, to have a new perspective, even to heal. And even if the answer is not clear, just realize that we are now in a quantum time, like I like to think now. We used to think in a binary way, it's 1 or 0, duality. And now we move to the quantum byte, who says it can be 0, it can be 1, and it can be both. More things can be true at once. And these shadows are still there, even if you did a healing, because you still have something to learn, but it doesn't mean it's something bad. It can be bad and good in the same time. And in the same time, these repetitive circles are bringing us in the end in the 0 point, because they are getting smaller and smaller up to we end up into the essence of who we really are, or which is our purpose in this lifetime. The next card, it's the card of the current situation, the current state of your life, where you are being called to transform and let go of the structures and patterns. And you have this beautiful card of creativity. You had here a desert, but now you have the rainbow. So the shadows can give you maybe the impression that you are in the desert, but a lot of things do happen in the desert if we slow down and we'll know how to look. There is always movement in the desert. I truly love the desert. My daughter used to say I love nothing, but it's everything. And in the current state, with this beautiful creativity card, life as such is an expression of our creativity, because we are creators, co-creators of our reality. And when we come into our powers, we become the creators. You were created to create, actually. the way that love can be expressed, the way we are seen in the world. Of course, we use our mind to manifest into form. We have a spark, then we start dreaming. After the dreams, we start focusing, and then in the end, we start really manifesting into the form. All this is to give us a feeling of contentment. But those things that we are manifesting are coming and going. In the end, the love, the force that started the whole creation process, that's what remains. And we are creating in order to enjoy the presence of love. And we can offer that love to whomever or whatever is ready to receive it. I like to associate that with the 4 elements, because those stages that I mentioned, the spark, the dream, the focus, are actually associated with the 4 elements. But we are the 5th element. We are the one, like the magician in the first card of Tarot. We have all these elements. We just know that we have it, and you have that infinity loop, and we create, and then we come back in the 0 point, which is love. And remember that we said with these cycles here for you that are repeating cycles, you're just going and going down and down and down, or up and up and up. Call it evolution, call it remembering, but brings you close to the 0 point from where you can be the magician and you can create everything you want, everything you need more, because that's important, that you create what you know you need for this existence, or the world also. And we come to the vision, which is actually what innovative possibilities are you excited about? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? And this is where your creativity will bring. But let's see a card from the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle deck. And you have this beautiful card of your tribe cannot show up until you do. Reveal the true you. And then from being alone here, you can find your tribe. But the tribe will be present to mirror you. Look, this is also a mirror. The moment you show up for yourself, the moment you find that point in you, when you find that love in you, and then you will also meet your tribe when you don't hide anything from yourself, but also from others. The most amazing thing that's happened when you start to show the world the real you, your emotional and spiritual needs are met, and you also get an honest reflection back. The world finally sees you in all your glory, and in turn loves you back. That's it. That's the reflection. This is what we are really looking to find ourselves. I see this also as the feminine and the masculine uniting together. And then we can connect authentically with others. It's like finding our own voice, it's finding our own rhythm, finding peace, acceptance, joy, everything is included in this acceptance. And then your relations will be authentic. Yesterday I was in the train, and then the train was moving fast along the water, and the sun was reflecting into the water. Those reflections were so beautiful. I was like a being of light traveling with me. You know, there were different shapes, but the sun was the same. And that's maybe with us also. We can see different shape of us reflecting in others. But the essence, it's important to be authentic. And coming back to the meaning of this reading, Pluto going to Aquarius, it's in the history of the world. Pluto in Aquarius always brought a revolution. Now we are talking about the AI revolution. So I asked the copilot on my computer to create a story for you with the main words from these cards. I'm going to read it for you. It's always a surprise. I love to see what it's created. In a mystical realm where magic and reality dance together, there was a village known for its deep connection to the cycles of life and ever-evolving nature of existence. Among the villagers, there was a young woman named Lyra, who was known for her boundless creativity and her understanding of the rich and complex symbolism of the mirror, often linked to witchcraft. One day, while exploring the enchanted forest that bordered her village, Lyra stumbled upon an ancient mirror hidden within a grove of ancient trees. The mirror's frame was adorned with intricate symbols, and its surface shimmered with an eternal glow. Lyra felt an irresistible pull toward the mirror, sensing that it held profound wisdom. As she gazed into the mirror, Lyra saw not just a reflection, but a vision of the cycles of life and the constant evolution of all things. The mirror revealed that life is an eternal expression of creativity, and that her true tribe couldn't show up until she fully embraced her authentic self. With each passing moment, Lyra felt a deeper connection to the mirror symbolism. She realized that her doubts and fear were merely shadows that passed through her, not defining her true self. The mirror showed her that by embracing her creativity and expressing herself honestly, she could find liberation and attract her true tribe. Empowered by this newfound clarity, Lyra returned to her village and began to express herself creatively without fear or hesitation. She painted, wrote, and danced, allowing her true self to shine through. Her art became a source of inspiration for others, encouraging them to embrace their own creative journeys and to trust in the cycle of life and evolution. And so, I think I said Lyra, but this Lyra story became a testament to the power of the mirror symbolism and the wisdom it revealed. It reminded all who heard it that true liberation comes from within, and that by staying true to oneself and embracing creativity, we can find our true tribe and live in harmony with the ever-evolving nature of life. Beautiful stories. The summarize of all the stories, it shows that whatever we do, it's reflecting on others as well. So I hope you like your story. If not, please be free to make your own story. Just take what resonates with you, and thank you for watching. If your choice was this beautiful dragonfly with the keyword imagination, I'm going now to pick up 3 cards from the Oracle of Pluto. So we had, let's say, the Aquarius. Now we have the card of Pluto. And then, of course, you can select one of these 3 if you like, to make more personalized readings in this way. And the first card would be the card of the wolf, which is associated with the keyword of intuition. So you have imagination and intuition. If you go for this card, we all possess an intuitive sense, but many struggle to know when it's intuition versus wishful thinking versus over-analyzing. Intuition is often subtle, and it's through silence and alone time that we make space for our intuition to speak. Now it's the time to carve out some alone time for yourself and let it bubble to the surface. Recognize that your intuition is a statement. Anything else shows up as a question. So this is one option. The second option is this shadow of a swan, which of course comes with a keyword soulmate. So you will have imagination and soulmate. A common misconception regarding soulmates is that these relationships are meant to be lifelong. Sometimes that is true, but sometimes a soulmate is meant to come into your life, teach you something big, and then leave. It's important to be able to discern which relationships are which and to know when it's time to let them go. This card, however, is about soulmates who are meant to stay. Often these relationships are a love that has nothing to do with romance. It could be an important friend, family member, or another close loved one. This could be another combination, imagination with soulmates. And then The last one is this shadow of a tiger. The keyword passion, powerful keywords, imagination and passion. What is your relationship to pleasure? Where do you feel it in your body? When was the last time you intentionally cultivated and engaged with it? Eros is a Greek word that describes the way in which we express our physical passion and desire. It is also an asteroid in astrology that we can look to for help in unlocking this expression and fulfillment. This asteroid can be located through many different online astrology sites. Look for yours and then invite Eros energy in through anything that feels erotic and delicious. Take your time, make a choice between imagination and intuition, imagination and soulmate, or imagination and passion. And then I will come back with a reading for each of these three combinations. If your choice is beside imagination, the card of wolf, which is actually a shadow, your reading already started because I'm going to pick up three cards, a card for the shadow, a card for the current state, and a card for the vision. So you have this shadow. What unconscious fears or walls are coming up for you to level and overcome? Maybe you need to learn to trust your intuition. Know that sometimes maybe it's wishful thinking, like I said when I was reading the message of this card, but this is something that you need to work through. What is the current state of your life? Where are you now? What are you being called to transform or let go? What kind of structures and patterns? For that, I'm going to pick up a card from the archetypes. Let's see what kind of archetype are you now at this moment in time. And the card that came up for you is this intimate, very beautiful card. Brings sweet sensuality and an intuitive understanding of all your emotional and physical needs and moods. Intuition again. So the attributes that you have now, you have an infinite capacity for understanding your longings, whatever they are, if they are sensual, erotic, or merely a need for a gentle comforting of your very spirit. The intimate comes to you without artifice, and your night embrace in a sweet, honeycombed tongue. Maybe you are looking for a feeling of belonging, being close to somebody. That could be that maybe your intuition is trying to guide you in finding this person, even if that intimacy is with yourself. Maybe just to trust yourself and love yourself. And then the last card is going to be the card of vision. What innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? So for that, I'm going to pick up a card from the fairy guidance, and you got the card of happiness. Happiness is an overall state of complete being. So this is your vision. The more you become intimate with yourself or with someone else, the more you experience this happiness, which is born from internal workings of the mind. And actually, happiness is defined different for everybody. For some can be the inspiration, the passion, fulfillment, freedom, comfort. For me, it's like inner peace. It's a state of being, a natural state of being. How we pursue the happiness, it's a very personal journey. I think there is even a beautiful movie called The Pursuit of Happiness. The Fairy of Happiness hovers over a garden in bloom. This is her garden of sanctity, which represents her embracing state of happiness. She holds a string of pink crystal hearts that personify the permanent joy and love found within her heart. Her eyes shine with the infectious spirit of inner happiness and of simply being. There are so many things that can make you happy, this little fairy tells you. But too often, when those things are attained, you may find much of that happiness to be fleeting. True happiness comes from inside, and thought you can move toward it through external experience and guidance. True happiness is found in those things that fill the most basic needs of spirituality and being. The fairy of happiness wants you to know that if you really wish to set out and find true and lasting happiness, the journey must begin inside of you. That's maybe related to intimate. Go inside you and use your intuition if this is your vision for the future. Because when you are happy, you can make people around you happy as well. And because this reading is about Pluto in Aquarius, and each time that Pluto is in Aquarius, we have a revolution in the world, and now we expect the revolution of the AI. I asked the ChatGPT or the copilot, how it's called, to create a story with a keyword from your cards. In a land where imagination knew no bounds, there was a hidden valley where magical creatures thrived. Among them was a dragonfly named Zephyr, known for its vibrant colors and swift, graceful flight. Zephyr had a special bond with a wise wolf named Luna, who was revered for her keen intuition and deep understanding of the valley's secrets. One day, as the sun cast a golden glow over the valley, Zephyr and Luna embarked on a journey to explore the farthest reaches of their enchanted home. They flew and ran through meadows and forests, their hearts filled with a sense of adventure and happiness. Along the way, they encountered many wonders, each more magical than the last. As they ventured deeper into the valley, Zephyr and Luna came upon a serene lake, its surface shimmering like a mirror. They paused to rest, feeling an intimate connection to the tranquil surroundings. Luna, with her sharp intuition, sensed that the lake held a special signification. She encouraged Zephyr to look closely at the water. Peering into the lake, Zephyr saw a vision of their journey reflected back at time. The dragonfly realized that their adventures were not just about discovering new places, but also about understanding themselves and their bond. The vision shows them that true happiness comes from embracing their unique qualities and the intimate connection they share. With this newfound understanding, Zephyr and Luna continue their journey, their hearts lighter and their spirits soaring. They return to their valley, sharing their experience with the other creatures, inspiring them to explore their own path and embrace the magic within. And so, Zephyr and Luna's story became a testament to the power of imagination, intuition, and the intimate bonds that bring true happiness. It reminded all who heard it that the greatest adventures are those that lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. I hope you find a little bit of truth in this story, and if not the story, at least the cards are resonating with you, and you are the creator of your own story, so be free to make your own story and your own vision for the future. But of course, this happiness is a beautiful vision, and I hope for you that you will also encounter. Thank you for watching. If your choice was the card of the swan, this shadow beside the card of imagination, your reading already started, because the way I'm going to conduct this reading is to pick up 3 cards, one for the shadow that we already have, one for the current state, and one for your vision for the future. With this soulmates card as a shadow card. It's about the unconscious fears or walls that are coming up to you to heal and overcome. Maybe you don't trust that you have soulmates, or maybe you lost a soulmate, maybe you suffer. There is something, a pain there in your heart. But if you remember the story with this soulmate, some are not romantically involved with their soulmate, and we can have more than one in a lifetime. And I believe personally that depending on our frequency, we just attract the people that we need in our life. But this soulmate connection is a very powerful one that puts you on the right track. So if this is the shadow, let's see what the current state of you is. Where are you being called to transform and let go of all structures and patterns? And for that, I pick up a card from the archetype deck. What you got is this green man. He's a steward to all that grows in the earth. Part vegetation himself, he's attached to the roots and enters and joins all living things, yet he roams about the land freely. If you acknowledge his presence, he'll diminish the sense of isolation that had dogged humankind since we declare ourselves outside and above nature. So I think it's like somebody who dies and is reborn every year. Maybe you are also aware of the cycles of life. You are very much attuned with nature, or maybe this is the transformation you have to go through. You need to get much closer to nature, much closer to your own essence, because the purpose of a soulmate to bring us closer to our own essence. And lately I even believe that we need to unite our divine masculine with the divine feminine in ourselves, and then from that unity, it's like we become our own soulmate. And by doing that, your connection with the natural world gets even more powerful. And about the vision for the future, what innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace? How can you contribute to the collective in a way that reflects your unique gifts and vision? I pick up a card from the fairy reflections for you, and the card that you got is the card of nurturing. Keep your inner child nurtured and you will thrive with vitality. A lot about loving yourself, loving your inner child. If we are aware, we react in different situations in the same way we learn to react when we were children. And sometimes that child, maybe that was hurt, push us to react in a certain way. So a good thing will be to realize when are we reacting from hurt. Everyone and everything requires nurturing to grow and flourish. Even the green man here. Nourishment and care make up the whole of nurturing, a requirement of both yourself and those you care about. No matter the age, everyone's spirit contains childlike aspects. Clothed in an airy crimson dress that matches her hair and shoes, the fairy of nurturing is enjoying a light breeze, playing in the wild strawberry patch she frequents. Red symbolizes the heart, the great supplier of nurturing, both of others and of the self. She surrounds herself with it. This fairy reminds us that each of us has a small child inside who still has innocent wonder, playfulness, and cheer. If we would only remember to look for them. No one is so grown up, troubled, or in so much woe that this child isn't there or is locked away never to be seen again. The fairy of nurturing wants you to take the time to find this childlike sense inside of you. She encourages you to love and nurture your inner child. You must always take the time to find the humor in a situation and laugh at your own faults. Enjoy and study the wonders of nature of the world. or ponder with a curious eye the sequence of events that brought you to where you are. You don't have to be childish to have childlike qualities. You can sometimes set aside all the facades and shields of grown-up like you hide behind. Sometimes all you really need is a good laugh, a light-hearted outlook, or simply time set aside to cut loose and play. All these things nurture your inner child and benefit your loving nature. Nurture your loved ones indeed, but never forget to nurture yourself as well. And then the more you are close to the nature, the more you even get in contact with other elementals, real fairies, or you start believing in them again. The more you connect with nature, the more you are connected with your inner child. And this reading is about Pluto in Aquarius, which will definitely bring a revolution in our world, and we'd all expect a artificial intelligence revolution. That's why I asked the copilot, my type of ChatGPT here, to create a story for you. In a realm where imagination flourished and magic was woven into the fabric of everyday life, there was a serene lake surrounded by an ancient forest. The lake was home for a graceful swan named Serafina, who was known for her elegance and gentle nature. Serafina often dreamed of finding her soulmate, someone who would understand her deepest desire and share her love for the mystical world. One day, as Serafina glided across the shimmering waters, she encountered a mysterious figure known as the Green Man. The Green Man was a guardian of the forest, embodying the spirit of nature and the cycles of life. He had a nurturing presence and a deep connection to the earth, always tending to the plants and animals with care. The Green Man sensed Serafina's longing and approached her with kindness. Serafina, he said, to find your soulmate, you must first nurture your inner child and embrace the creativity that lies within you. Only then you will be able to truly connect with another soul. Inspired by the Green Man's wisdom, Serafina began to explore her imagination and express herself creatively. She danced on the water's surface, creating ripples that sparkle in the sunlight. She sang songs that echoed through the forest, filling the air with melodies of joy and wonder. As she embraced her inner child, she felt a sense of freedom and happiness she never knew before. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a brilliant shade of orange, Serafina met a kindred spirit, a swan named Orion. Orion was drawn to Serafina's vibrant energy and the way she embraced life with open arms. They spent their days exploring the lake and the forest, sharing their dreams and nurturing each other's creativity. Together, Serafina and Orion discovered that their bond was more than just a connection of soul. It was a celebration of their shared love for the magical world around them. They realized that true soulmates are those who encourage each other to grow, to dream, and to embrace the beauty of life. And so, Serafina and Orion's story became a testament to the power of imagination, the nurturing of the inner child, and the magic of finding a soulmate. It reminded all who heard it that true happiness comes from within, and that by embracing our creativity and nurturing our inner selves, we can find a connection that brings joy and fulfillment to our lives. Wow! I must say that I asked the copilot up to now for a story for all the readings, but somehow this one I found to be the most beautiful one, and I truly hope it resonates for you too and you could enjoy it. All I can do is hope that these cards resonate with you, and thank you for watching. If your choice was beside the card of imagination, the shadow of the tiger with a keyword of passion, follow your desire. The reading already started because I'm going to pick up 3 cards, one being this as the card of the shadow, the unconscious fears or walls that are coming up for you to heal and overcome, maybe even your fear for pleasure, for intimacy, I don't know. Then we have a card for the current state of your life. Where are you being called to transform and let go of all structures and patterns? And for that, I pick up a card from the archetypes deck and to see what kind of archetype are you at this point. And you have a shadow diver, maybe even going down as in the Fibonacci sequence, trying to get to the 0 point to discover your true you and embracing all of you. The shadow diver spirals down through the tunnels of your history, discovering your deserted specters of discontent and trauma. Once locating, he brings them back to the surface where they can be resolved. Unhurted, these buried scars, forsaken longings, and damaged dreams can be attended to, mended, and led to rest. Because somewhere between childhood and adulthood, maybe a lot of stories went down in a kind of rabbit hole and led us feeling small, feeling maybe angry. And this is like a kind of therapy that we just go down and down and down, and maybe with every event just discovering, why is this happening, why do I have to learn? And maybe it seems that we go back in the same pattern, but actually, as you see here very well, we go deeper and deeper up to the point we get to the essence. Can also be some of us that have issues with intimacy because of some events from childhood or later on. It's like an archaeologist. We just have to retrieve those trauma and bring them up to light. And I think this is what you are doing now. And it can be a painful process. It can take time, but you need courage to do it. And I applaud you for doing it. And the vision that you have for your future, what innovative future possibilities are you excited to embrace? How can you contribute with them to the collective in a way that reflect your unique gifts and vision? And for that, I pick up a card from the Fairy Reflections, and you have the card of prosperity. The more you heal, the inner power supplied by spiritual prosperity lasts an eternity. Wow, this is what you want, because you discover who you truly are. You know, you need maybe indeed some imagination for that, but once you get it, once you find out who you really are, that will make you powerful. When the word prosperity comes to mind, many people think about its core definition, material success and abundance. Prosperity isn't limited to material, it includes also abundance of spiritual wealth, and being spiritual prosperous means enjoying a wealth of vitality and thriving with integrity and virtue. Yes. The fairy of prosperity is adorned in an array of colors and patterns, rich with vibrant health, peace, love, compassion, and inner wisdom. Her arms are open to the endless abundance available to her. She's empowered with the knowledge that she's deserving of good things, and she calls them forth into her life. The dream catcher on her head filters her dream and vision, allowing through only the ones conducive to her continued prosperity. She also has a blue owl representing the stagnating tendency some have of low self-esteem and feeling unworthy of good things. The fairy of prosperity sympathizes with this creature but won't wrap herself in its self-created misery. The fairy of prosperity wants you to realize that regardless of the past, you have the capability of being prosperous in your life. You are always worthy of it. Follow the most important rule in life by doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. Enjoy tea with the fairies of love and compassion often, and forgive those who have wronged you, even if the one who must be forgiven is yourself. They say that loves come in many forms, so does wealth. May your life always be blessed and filled with prosperity and abundant wealth. A beautiful vision, and I love that you see this blue owl, but you don't resonate with the stories of being a victim. You are creating your own prosperity, and you can do that because you are powerful enough to face the tiger shadow. These are your cards, but because we discussed about Pluto in Aquarius, which will bring a revolution like any other time in the history of the world when Pluto was in Aquarius, this time is going to be the AI revolution. So I asked the copilot to make another story for you with all these cards. In a land where imagination knew no bounds, there was a lush jungle full with life and mystery. Among the many creatures that called this jungle home, there was a majestic tiger named Raja. Raja was known for his fierce passion and his ability to navigate a dense jungle with grace and power. One day, as Raja roamed the jungle, he encountered a mysterious figure known as the Shadow Diver. The Shadow Diver was a guardian of the jungle's secrets, embodying the balance between light and dark. He had a deep understanding of the cycles of life and the hidden forces that shape the world. The Shadow Diver sensed Raja's inner power and approached him with a knowing smile. Raja, he said, to truly harness your potential, you must embrace both your passion and your pleasure. These are the keys to unlocking your prosperity and inner power. Inspired by the Shadow Diver's wisdom, Raja began to explore his imagination and express himself creatively. He rode with joy, his voice echoing through the jungle, and danced under the moonlight, feeling the pleasure of each movement. As he embraced his passion and pleasure, Raja felt a sense of liberation and strength he had never known before. With each passing day, Raja's prosperity grew. He became a symbol of power and grace, inspiring other creatures in the jungle to embrace their own inner power and creativity. The jungle thrived with a renewed sense of purpose and harmony as each creature found their unique path to prosperity. And so, Raja's story became a testament to the power of imagination, passion, and pleasure. It reminded all who heard it that true prosperity comes from within, and that by embracing our inner power, we can create a life filled with joy and fulfillment. So this will be your story. Of course, you are free to create your own story with your own words, but these were the words that came to me from your cards. I hope they resonate with you and that you can accomplish in this period your vision and find spiritual prosperity. Thank you for watching.